The City of Belton Planning Commission meeting for Wednesday, July 5th. Could we have the roll call, please?
Chairman McPherson.
Here.
Mayor Larkey.
Here.
Councilmember Pryan.
Here.
Commissioner McDonough.
Here.
Commissioner Monahan Bass. Commissioner Vest. Commissioner Walton.
Here.
Commissioner Warren.
Here.
Thank you. First item we have on our agenda this evening would be for the approval of our minutes from the June 20th Commission meeting as they've been presented to us.
Motion to approve the minutes of the June 20th, 2023 Planning Commission meeting as presented.
Thank you, Mayor.
Second.
Thank you.
He was first.
We'll give you, somebody will have a chance again
All right.
if you missed it this time. Any questions or additions, modifications that need to be made? Seeing none, all those in favor of approval say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we do have scheduled for this evening a public hearing for RZ 202302, application for a rezoning from A agricultural to R1 single family for a proposed 1.23 plus or minus acre lot at 1208 South Cedar Street. And we have been requested to continue this until our July 18 meeting. It had been announced and was scheduled for a public hearing this evening, but we do have the request for that. Is there a motion to continue?
So moved.
Thank you, Mayor.
Second.
Thank you. So all those in favor of continuing this to July 18, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you. We do have another public hearing, and we will call that to order. This is for SUP 2023-05, application for a special use permit for a daycare center facility, Bright Skies Child Care at 127 Congress Street. Director?
Yep, thank you, Chair McPherson. Before this evening is a request for a special use permit for Bright Skies Child Care, which is a daycare facility located at 127 Congress Street, just east of the post office in Bradford Place. This daycare center includes 5 classrooms, serving approximately 80 children ages 6 weeks to 5 years old. Prior to Bright Skies Child Care, Head Start operated out of this location for approximately 20 years. The applicant has received all required state licensing and city business license. Staff approved the business license to allow the daycare center to begin operation and utilize the previous legal non-conforming status of Head Start, which did not receive special use permit approval as currently is required for commercial daycares. The site does meet all conditional requirements for daycare center, including licensing, outdoor recreation area enclosures, and adequate parking and pickup and drop-off areas. And therefore, staff recommends approval of the special use permit with 3 conditions, as noted in the staff report.
All right. And is the applicant here? Would you like to address anything with the commission, or did the director pretty much cover everything for you?
I think it was well covered.
Okay, very good. All right. So since this is a public hearing, we will it is open for anyone that would like to speak either in favor or in opposition to the special use permit. We'll ask again, is there anyone to speak either in favor or in opposition? Seeing no one, we will close the public hearing and leave it to the commission. Any questions? Commissioner?
Already open and doing business, is that correct?
It is.
So, business as usual there then?
Yeah, it's pretty much just taking it from a legal non-conforming use to a legal conforming use.
Before they got a permit, or how does that work?
So they were utilizing Head Start's legal non-conforming status since it was the same land use. We just recommended that they go ahead and go through this process so it's legal conforming.
questions, comments?
Mr. Chair, I'd make a motion to approve the special use permit for Bright Skies Childcare as presented.
Mayor
I'll second.
and Councilman? Any final questions, comments? I know we did talk a little bit, I believe it was last time, about the change for some of the special use permits. Is this one of the things that we're trying to capture, this type of permit?
This one did not change at all.
Okay.
So this one.
was not part
Yeah,
of-
some
of
of
what
the
they-
in-home daycare did change
Okay.
with state regulations, but it did not impact commercial
did not.
daycares.
Okay, great. All right. There are no additional questions or comments. Could we have the roll call, please?
Commissioner Warren?
Yes.
McDonough?
Aye.
Councilmember Bryan?
Aye.
Mayor Larkey?
Yes.
Commissioner Walton?
Aye.
Chairman?
Aye. Motion does carry, and we've granted your special permit, so now everything is as it should be for you. So, as it was. Nothing changed. I think basically we just changed the name that was on the special use permit from Head Start to the name of the daycare is pretty much what we've done. All right, we do have a couple of items for non-public hearing this evening. The first item A is FDP 2023-03, an application for final development plan for the addition of a pickup window at Elevate Dispensary at 114 East North Avenue. Director.
Yep, thank you, Chair McPherson. Before you this evening is a request for a final development plan for Elevate Dispensary to install a pickup window at their location at 114 East North Avenue, which is in the Twin Oaks Shopping Center at East North and North Scott. The applicant is requesting the final development plan with alternative development standards to reduce the number of stacking spaces and to allow the pickup window to face the street, both of which are modifications to the North Scott overlay guidelines. The North Scott overlay guidelines requires a minimum of 12 stacking spaces for restaurant drive-throughs and 5 spaces for all other types of drive-throughs. Outside of the North Scott corridor, only 2 stacking spaces are required for a pharmacy, which the dispensary most closely aligns with. The applicant is requesting 3 stacking spaces for the pickup window. Unlike a typical drive-through, there is no order box, and all orders must be placed in advance of arrival of the site, which allows for a shorter wait time at the window. Additionally, the North Scott overlay guidelines do not permit pickup windows facing the street. As part of the installation of the pickup window, a landscape island would be installed to provide screening of the pickup lane and window. This would also add landscaping to the shopping center, which currently does not have any landscaping. Aside from the requested reduction in stacking spaces, the remaining access drive does meet the minimum width requirements. However, through the review process, there have been some concerns with the potential impact or issues that could arise if the pickup window does not function as intended by the business. Therefore, staff has recommended a condition, and it has included it in the staff report, that should it be determined that the pickup window becomes a traffic or stacking hazard, such as repeating stacking of more than 3 vehicles, that it be shut down. Staff has also made it clear that the pickup window with the 3 spaces can only be utilized by the dispensary. So if the dispensary does vacate the premises, a restaurant use or other drive-through use could not utilize the window without going through a review process to determine if an exception is warranted for that use. Staff recommends approval of the final development plan with the 4 conditions as noted in the staff report.
All right, thank you. Is the applicant here? Anything you would like to share with us? If you just state your name for the record, and thank you for coming this evening.
Martin Arling, Caw Valley Engineering. We just agree with all the conditions that are set forth, and just happy to answer any questions you have.
Okay.
Wasn't there, I don't remember, wasn't there a drive-through there prior to this?
I don't know if there was a drive-through. There used to be a patio or a raised patio there when I believe it was One Eye Jack's was the name of the bar that was there. So historically there have been various uses utilizing this sidewall, and to my knowledge did not create a traffic issue at that location.
They did have a lot of problems with the donut shop that was open and one on Jack's. There was a lot of traffic.
Yeah,
Matter of fact, they put a fence right there.
that's the property owner of that.
Right, beyond
Biondo did that, yeah.
Are they not using that drive-up window yet?
No, this is just proposed. There's no window there, so they're gonna basically cut a hole in the side of the wall and put in a window.
There was a door there for the patio.
Yeah.
I don't believe there's one there. There's
Not
not.
a door there now.
Right.
There
Right.
used to be a door.
Okay.
right where that thing opened.
Right. So the pickup window device they're using is similar to a bank where, it kind of pushes out a little bit, and so it's pretty much flush against the wall until it's used and that kind of thing.
And anyone driving up that doesn't have an order in would be turned away.
There's nothing for them to pick up.
Okay.
They'd have to park and go inside and.
I see the need for it. I really think that it's gonna cause some traffic issues. That's my concern, is the traffic.
Before we continue, can I just remind everybody, make sure your mics are on? I just got the high sign from the back, and a number of our comments are not being heard for our citizens. So. Okay, I got it.
I agree with you. I think that it potentially has a traffic hazard problem here, but I think, they covered it with, if it's caused a problem, that we can revoke the permit and.
I guess I would tend to be a little more concerned probably if they were placing orders, but
Yeah.
the fact that they do have to order and it's just a pickup window, I think will probably alleviate.
And I would think if it did become a problem too, they could time it better to say, your pickup will be ready at such and such time. So they could certainly work around any issues that do arise.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
I'm assuming that neighboring business has been told, because that line's like just right down the middle of the parking lot. And
Neighboring business, which way? To the north or?
to the north, correct. And that's where they've had a lot of problems in the past. And
Okay.
like I said, that property line used to have just a chain link fence on it because of the arguments and stuff.
Across the north boundary line?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And I would just, I don't know, there's a line there, is there gonna be a fence or anything, or some designate the lane?
No,
Right.
yeah, no plan for a fence, but there's basically a raised curb at the north side just to separate the traffic from the other pavement.
Okay,
And that's existing. There's some bollards there.
what?
And
There's some bollards there.
I know when Biondo threw this pit and put those bollards in, we wouldn't let him go all the way because of the fire code. So that's why some of it's still open and it has to stay open.
Okay,
Has to stay open.
just as long as everybody doesn't get mad at each other there.
The lines to these places sometimes, can get long, and that's the only thing that I worry about is, I like, if the city has time to police it, then I guess we can, approve it, but, I've seen, I work over on the Missouri side, but I drive down Holmes, right there in Martin City, and that place has always got 15 cars in it. I don't know if they're set up the same way to where you pre-order, but I will say that it's 10 to 15 cars deep in that place, quite a bit.
Yeah, it's our understanding that some of the dispensaries are operating more like a drive-through restaurant where there's actually an order box and they're ordering in line, and that obviously takes some time to place that order, go through the verification process, pay, those types of things. Where The way, according to the applicant in this situation, they basically order and pay for everything online. They're just pulling up, picking up what they've ordered and driving off.
And they do have the storefront that they can go into for,
They do have a storefront, and I'm not sure legally with state law if they are allowed to, if an employee can come out to the parking lot and deliver product to them if they're in a park space, but that could always be a backup option if there does become an issue here. If they designate some additional parking spaces as overflow spaces for pickup, kind of like what they would do at Culver's or some of the other
Think they
fast
could
food
do curb
restaurants.
Pickup right now.
So that may not be allowed under state law, though.
but they could be, maybe have staging spots for the traffic to clear.
They could,
Have
yes.
them stay there and.
That would be something that the business could
That would be their
work out
responsibility.
if there does become an issue here.
And I think that along with, like I said, timing when the customers can pick it up and, you know,
All right.
with texting and things like that, so your order is ready and they can pick it up. And
Sure.
I'm sure there are ways that could work out around any congestion issues.
Okay. Any additional comments, questions?
Mr. Chair, I'd make a motion to approve the final development plan for Elevate Dispensary Pickup Window as presented.
Thank you, Mayor. We have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right. A motion and a second. Any final questions? Roll call, please.
Mayor Larkey,
Yes?
Commissioner Warren,
Yes, as long as we can police it.
Commissioner Walton,
Yes.
Chairman,
Aye.
Commissioner McDonough,
Aye.
Councilmember Pryan.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. All right, our next item we have is FDP 2023-04, an application for final development plan for McAllister's Deli and future tenant space at 1010 East North Avenue. Director.
All right, thank you, Chair. Before you is a request for a final development plan for the remodel and expansion of the former Applebee's at 1010 East North Avenue, which would accommodate approximately 3,600 square foot tenant space for McAllister's Deli and a 1,600 square foot tenant space for a future tenant. The remodel and expansion includes an addition of a pickup window on the west side of the building, which accommodates 5 stacking spaces. The minimum requirement is 4 spaces when there is no order box. Similar to the dispensary that you just heard, all orders are made in advance of arriving at the site. So all orders have already been picked up and paid for, or ordered and paid for, and they're just picking up at the window. A covered outdoor seating area is also proposed on the west side of the building. And then the 1,200 square foot addition is located at the northeast corner of the building, which will help accommodate the additional tenant space as well as a revised dumpster location that will be completely screened from view. The site does meet all other building and site design standards and parking standards. There are no changes in the access proposed, except along the north shared drive, which is where currently there are only the 2 access points to the site. Those will remain in place, but that additional access point for the pickup window will be added to that shared drive to the north. Existing landscaping will remain, and some additional landscaping will be added, including 8 trees and 24 shrubs. Those will be added along the perimeter of the site in the landscape islands, along the front of the building, and adjacent to the pickup lane. The exterior building materials will also remain comparable to the existing building, and will include the addition of 2 new parapet towers, 1 each for each new tenant space. And then for signage, the site does include 2 new monument signs to accommodate, a new monument sign to accommodate both tenants, which will be located at the southeast corner of the site near the intersection of 58 and Town Center Drive. All signage does meet requirements with the exception of a request to increase the maximum size for the incidental signs from 9 square feet to 14 square feet. These are the signs that will be located throughout the pickup lane, and that's really just to help customers navigate through the site to locate the pickup lane, as well as additional overflow for the pickup lane. McAllister's will also utilize the empty Applebee's sign space that's in the Belton Town Center monument sign that's shared with Kohl's, which is located on the west side of the shared entry drive with Kohl's. Staff does recommend approval of the final development plan with 3 conditions in the staff report, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for the director?
Where's the dumpster being relocated to?
So it's already in this north location right now. Oh, I'll let the,
It's not being relocated.
Oh, I thought you said it was.
No, we're actually making the gates larger.
Oh, okay.
They looked too
tell us
small to
about it, yeah.
actually utilize correctly.
the applicant is on
Oh.
on a Zoom call.
I thought that was you.
Sorry.
No, you're fine, I just,
Didn't see anybody's mouth moving around
yeah,
here.
I know.
So we're going to increase the width of the gates.
Okay.
In the addition to the space for the second tenant, I was by there yesterday and just happened to be looking at the building and saw there's like a little bit of the one side stops a little bit further towards the street than the other. Is that what they're talking about as far as expanding that? Would be into that area?
Yeah, there's a
Yes,
little.
sir.
Yeah.
Go
Thank you.
ahead.
And you did indicate the pickup window is not going to have an order station as well. It'll just be strictly pickup for
Correct.
orders.
And that's what a lot of the more fast casual type chains are moving towards. Chipotle installed one of those last year. So a lot of the fast casual restaurants are moving towards that type of pickup window.
Additional questions, comments? For a motion?
I'd make a motion, we approve the application for final development plan for McAllister's Deli and future tenant space at 1010 East North Avenue as presented.
Thank you. We do have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Last chance for any additional questions? Seeing none, could we have the roll call, please?
Commissioner Walton,
Aye.
Councilmember Pryan,
Aye.
Mayor Larkey,
Yes.
Chairman,
Aye.
Commissioner McDonough,
Aye.
Commissioner Warren.
Aye.
All right, thank you. So we have approved.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Wherever you are.
Yeah.
Mobile, Alabama.
Oh, boy. That's why you didn't want to drive it.
Sorry. Yeah.
Almost wait.
Thank y'all.
Thank
you.
Okay, moving on to item C under our non-public hearings is PP 2023-02 and FP 2023-02. Application for preliminary plat and final plat for a 2-lot subdivision, Clark Acres, at 900 West Cambridge Road.
Yep, thank you, Chair. This is a request for both a preliminary plat and a final plat for Clark Acres, which is a 2-lot subdivision at 900 West Cambridge Road. The plats will divide the unplatted 17.5 acre property into 2 platted lots, Lot 1 being 7.22 acres and Lot 2 being 9.23 acres. Lot 1 currently has a house under construction, and based on the lot size, both lots will retain the agriculture zoning district, which requires a minimum of 5 acre lots. As part of the plating process, a 20-foot right-of-way dedication has been provided along Cambridge Road as an arterial street for future improvements. The plats do meet all subdivision regulations with the exception of a requirement that the maximum depth of residential lots not exceed 2.5 times the width of the lot. However, based on the shape of the property, that's not possible, and the depth of the lots is compatible with adjacent agriculturally zoned properties. There are currently no plans for Lot 2 at this time, but it could include a single-family house to be constructed, or it could be further subdivided in the future.
And I believe the applicant is here. Anything additional you'd like to share, Dave?
Well, I would tell you, this is a lot split. It's not a subdivision like they want to call it. So, just, my mortgage guy told me if I ever want to give land to my kids in the future, I can't have it in the end loan. So I'm just trying to prepare in case that ever happens.
How'd you think of the name of that?
Or if the land gets very expensive, I have something to sell, you know, either or.
He spent his whole life thinking of that name.
I got my back corner. That's all I really needed.
Okay. Any questions or comments? Or is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
All right, motion and second. Any final comments? Seeing none, could we have the roll call, please?
Chairman,
Aye.
Commissioner Warren,
Aye.
Mayor Larkey,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonough,
Aye.
Commissioner Walton,
Aye.
and Councilmember Pryan.
Aye.
All right, thank you. Director, you have any items for us this evening?
Yeah, last week the City Council did approve a contract with Confluence to complete the comprehensive plan update. So there will be additional news coming out soon regarding the citizen participation process with that. And then Confluence, we will likely have a meeting with the Planning Commission sometime in late August. So once we have those dates available, we'll send that out to see how that works with everybody's schedule. They would like to do a joint meeting with Planning Commission and City Council. So we'll see how that, how we can accommodate that. And then our next meeting is Tuesday, July 18th. We will have the rezoning application that was continued tonight on that agenda, as well as some additional UDC text amendments related to some land uses in the Old Town Belton zoning overlay, as well as some fee updates to certain planning application fees and a rental inspection program fee.
So sounds like we have quite a bit on the agenda.
Yeah.
So, good. Means things are happening, right? All right. So next meeting, July 18, any?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are